Hello, everyone. Welcome back to GameStack Podcast, right here on We Just Love Games Network. I'm your co-host, Venertron. Joining me this evening, as always, is the illustrious Shalene. Hello, Shalene.
Hi.
How are you, my dear?
I am. I'm doing better. This was a rough week for me. It was a rough week, buddy. I had a migraine. I had a whole stomach thing.
Oh,
I missed
no.
like 3 days of work.
What?
Yeah, it was bad times
Jeez.
all around. And yeah, it was a difficult week, but I'm feeling much better right now.
All
And
right. I'll take
that's
it.
that's what counts,
I'm glad you're here
right?
and able to do the show. I mean, I was kind of worried there for a little bit today whether or not you would have the
You
strength
know, if
to.
we're being honest, I was also a little concerned. Right up until about an hour ago, I was not 100% sure I was going to have the stamina to get through one of these, but
Oh,
I'm thinking I'm fine.
well, you look great.
Thank you.
Yes. And slightly satiated. Um, you're listening to episode 181, Fragile Butter, and I just love the name of this episode.
It's
Um,
very, very silly. Should we tell
just
the
tell them.
story of Fragile
Well,
Butter?
because like
Right.
90% of our show titles are inside jokes
Inside
that nobody
jokes. Yeah.
understands, so you should probably tell them this one.
I had a pretty rough migraine yesterday, and we were supposed to have Animal Crossing Thursday. I think you guys did have Animal Crossing Thursday.
Briefly.
But there was you asked me how I was doing, and I said fragile but better. And you read Fragile Butter.
Yeah. Because I've been staring at Word documents all week and writing and seeing lines and words and thousands of words. And everything would just, by the end of the week, it just kind of all melts together, if you know what I
So the
mean.
next time somebody asks how you're feeling, the answer is Fragile Butter.
Fragile butter. Fragile butter. Yeah. Anyways, hopefully that audio is a little bit better. You're listening to episode 181, Fragile Butter. Don't forget, show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. And word on the street is we're potentially working on recreating our coffee label.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an eye out for that as well. We are working with the roaster to develop a new coffee label, so that is exciting.
Indeed.
Don't forget to check out our shiny, spanking new episode of That Fallout Show about that other Fallout show, a limited time series of at least 8 episodes covering all of the episodes of Amazon Prime's new Fallout show. And we did cover the first episode of that series last week with Rick McVick, as well as myself and Shalene. That was a fantastic
It was so
episode.
much
I
fun.
think we managed to do it in about 2 hours, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah, smidgen over, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the next ones should be under.
Yeah, now that we've worked out all of
Mm-hmm.
the bolt nuts and bolts on it.
Yeah. Do we have a guest announcement?
Oh yes.
Is that
So
confirmed?
yes, May 10th is our next episode of that Fallout show. We'll be covering episode 2 of that other Fallout show, and Dave Chaffins will be on the show as a special guest, joining us for the conversation that evening. So don't miss it. Make sure, set your calendars, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And tell your friends about the show. Get them out here on a Friday evening, the best little corner of the internet, live in the chat. We'd love to have our live listeners join us as we record the show for all of the various podcast platforms you may find your podcasts on. And if you don't catch the live show, that's fine because we're a podcast and we just upload it later so you can listen to it. We also have a very active community in the Discord. Shalene, tell people about the Discord.
The Discord is a wonderful place, and it really was hammered home to me this week again, like
Why is
brand
that?
new, just how wonderful our community is. You know, we never see fighting in our Discord. We never see trolling. Everybody's happy, everybody's having a good time. Comments are helpful and funny, and it's just the most beautiful internet community. I just can't imagine that such a place exists on Al Gore's internet. And yeah, if you'd like to join this wonderful
Yeah.
utopia, you can do so by clicking on the Discord link on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/we just love games. That link is live, whether or not the show is. And I do hope you'll join the community. I really enjoy hearing from everyone, and it's really nice having like-minded people to chat with and to hear from. And it's a beautiful community.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I found some real friends here.
Heaven is a place on Discord. We do have a lot of news to cover. It's also May 3rd, which means new releases. Yay, new releases for the month. We're also going to cover some sweet deals from RTZ's GameStack marketplace. And we have some screenshots and stories. We're going to take you through the stocks as well, some of our gameplay. We unfortunately have no mail. Is that correct? Am I reading
That's
that
correct.
correctly?
Yeah, there's some Fallout mail, but that we have a whole show for that now.
Right, right. Yeah,
So,
what are we going to do now?
well, I mean, we're just gonna have to have the people write in letters, which they can do by sending an email to info@we
Uh-huh.
just love games.com, or by dropping a message in the mail stack channel of our Discord. And we really like getting questions in there. We like getting discussion points. Frankly, anything. Just tell us your stories. We like to hear from you, and we like to share things on the show. A lot of times I feel like there are things that are really worthy of a mail stack that get posted in other channels. Don't be afraid to cross post those into mail stack so that we can discuss them on the show.
Unfortunately, we are no longer accepting mail by carrier pigeon, though. So,
I
uh,
mean, if a pigeon comes, I will accept its mail.
Shalene suddenly has all these pigeons at the apartment.
There are so many pigeons here,
The
you
in
don't even
studio
know.
producer is feeding them and
Hmm.
naming them. And
We have so many pigeons at this apartment. You have no idea.
really,
There are dozens of them at all times. In the trees, on the ground, in the parking lot, in the power
really,
lines, dozens of pigeons.
huh?
Yeah, it's wild. I
Yeah,
think they're
it's
neat little guys.
pigeons really aren't something that is common here. I think it's maybe
Really,
a bit too cold,
that makes
perhaps.
sense. Yeah.
There are some pigeons in like the downtown core, but you
Hmm.
don't see a lot of them really.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
they're like vermin or whatever, but I really do think they're neat little guys. They're so sassy when they
Hmm.
walk around.
Hmm.
They're like puffy. I love them. They're cute.
Pigeon milk.
I'll pass on the pigeon milk. Thank you.
For anybody who doesn't play Animal Crossing, that is a Animal Crossing reference. Anyways,
Mhm.
let's hop into the news with this just in. And our first most important bit of news, you guys, Joseph Tao is still alive.
Yes, he's doing okay.
He is doing okay. He's in a new
He's
job.
just got a busy life.
He's very busy right now, and he apologizes for letting the news ticker lapse these last few months. But we are glad Joseph Tao is doing well and loving his new job. He is still contributing to our news. So as always, a shout out to him. I'm going to start off things, Shalene, with the May new releases.
Great.
And I've got a couple from yesterday that are already out on Switch. Tuhu Mystia's Izakaya, as well as Endless Ocean Luminous. Those are May 2nd. On May 7th, you'll be able to get Prison Architect 2. That's on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. May 8th, V Rising on PC. May 9th, a few games you can pick up: Animal Well on PS5 and Switch, Crow County on PS5 and PC, Gift on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC, Little Kitty
Ooh,
Big City.
Animal Well looks really spooky.
Little Kitty Big City, Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And what do you got for Animal Wells? It's spooky.
Yeah, it looks very spooky. It says explore a dense, interconnected labyrinth and unravel its many secrets. Collect items to manipulate your environment in surprising and meaningful ways. It looks like a Metroidvania style gameplay, like old eight bitish situation, maybe
Mm.
more like 16 or 32 bits. And the atmosphere, the art looks just very dark and spooky.
Any other games on that list?
I'm also interested in Crow County, but that has brought up like Crow County, uh, Minnesota. So let's see here.
I wonder if it's set in
Okay,
Minnesota.
here's the Steam page. The year is 1990. It's been 2 years since the mysterious disappearance of Edward Crow and the abrupt closure of his theme park, Crow Country. But your arrival has broken the silence, Mara Forest. If you want answers, you'll have to venture deep into the darkness of Crow Country to find them. This looks horrifying. You play as like a Fisher Price looking avatar, and oh wow, that's horrifying. The graphics are pretty old school, sort of
Yeah.
almost Nintendo 64-ish.
Oh, what
And
is this? Oh, there's the Crow, Mr. Crow.
it looks extremely spooky. Why are all the May games spooky? It is not spooky season. It is springtime. Oh my goodness.
Anyways, every time someone says springtime, I think of the producers. Anyways, I won't go there. May 13th, Homeworld 3 on PC. May 14th, The Rogue Prince of Persia Early Access on PC. Braid Anniversary Edition, PS4, PS5, PC, Netflix on May 15th. On the 16th, you can expect Braid Anniversary Edition on the Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. Ghost of Tsushima on the director's cut on PC. That's Ghost of Tsushima. I just can't say Tsushima. It's
That game
just.
looks so beautiful.
And then Loralee, the Laser Eyes on Switch
Now,
and
this one also
PC.
looks very spooky. The stage is set. Imagine an old Baroque manor, perhaps a hotel or a museum somewhere in Central Europe. A woman wanders in search of answers. This looks like a very old school point and click adventure game with puzzles. It's black and white and pink. Surprisingly, is the pop of color that you get, and it looks spooky, but in a way that makes me think I really want to play this game.
Yeah, I like the art style.
This is a very much a Shalene game, in my opinion.
Hats.
So many hats.
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Xbox Series X and S,
Oh wow,
PC,
I didn't
May
realize that was already
21st.
coming out.
Yep.
Wow.
Paper Trail on iOS, Android, PC, Switch, PS. I don't know which PlayStation that is, and Xbox. And I don't know which Xboxes those are, but that's on May 21st. System Shock Remake,
I feel like
PS,
at this point we can assume that it's the current ones.
possibly. System Shock Remake, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, May 21st. As well as Playing Kafka, PC, iOS, and Android on May
Okay,
21st.
this is a narrative adventure game based on the life of the author. Wow, that's kind of surprising. This makes now two Kafka based games that I am aware of.
I love the art style.
That is exactly two more games than I expected based on Kafka.
Are you gonna? Is this also a Shalene game? Why do these people have no faces?
I feel like yes, I would give this a whirl. But I don't know. I don't know. We've got Nephthys Nile in chat who says it's always spooky season. Fair.
We
That's
have
fair.
we have a Halloweener. Yes. Oh yeah, Nephthys Nile is always posting Halloween costumes and things. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Haunty. Speaking of
Again,
spooky,
a
PS4,
spooky game. This one's
PS4,
a
PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, May 23rd.
you play as a brave ghost on a relentless quest for answers. And this is the art style is like nothing I've ever seen. It's a little bit Burton-esque, but that feels like a reduction
Really?
of what this is. Yeah, it's very cool.
And
It's sort of a hand illustrated situation, mostly black and white, mostly monotones at least. They pick a color theme and stick with it. This is really
Oh, I
interesting.
like this. Sorry, it took me a while to get the video up. This
It looks
is
like pencil
great. Yeah,
drawings.
yeah, yeah.
This is so cool. It sort of reminds me of Don't Starve, but somehow
Cult of the Lamb.
a bit, yes, but with a very different style of charm. That's
Yeah,
very interesting.
cute. Um, well, let's cut away from the spookiness. The next game that comes out May 23rd is Duck Detective: The Secret Salami.
That
And
sounds like a great palate cleanser from all the spookiness.
right, right. And this game looks really great.
So
You
cute.
are a duck detective. Although arguably this duck looks a little bit like a goose, Shalene. So I'm a little confused on that one. But yeah, you play as a detective, and obviously you're finding out things. It's really cute. Salami Bandit. And then May 23rd has a bunch of other games. Wuthering Waves on iOS, Android, and PC. World of Goo 2 on Switch. Sorry, I should go back. Duck Detective comes out on Switch and PC. Songs of Silence Early Access on PC May 23rd, as well as Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on Switch. May 28th, you will be able to pick up Multiverses, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And on the 29th, Nine Souls on PC and Mac. May 30th, Scald: Against the Black Priori on PC. And then May 31st, you'll be able to get Formula One 24, right? F1
Yeah.
24,
Mhm.
PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. And lastly, which sounds kind of intriguing, Nightmare Cart on PC.
Yeah, we're gonna give Nightmare Cart a quick Google.
You're right though. This is really like the month of spooky games. What's the deal here?
It
Did
used to be Bloodborne Cart,
oh,
and Sony made them not. So now it's Nightmare Cart.
that's fun.
This
Okay.
is so crazy. Oh my goodness.
Nightmare Cart.
That is fun times.
Yeah. Um Now, PlayStation Plus monthly games for May: EA Sports FC 24, Ghost Runner 2, Tunic, and Destiny 2: Lightfall will be available for download on the Premium Extra and Essential packages. May 7 kicks off the PlayStation Plus monthly games lineup. And PlayStation Plus members will have access to those four titles available to their game libraries, and these will be available, as I said, from May 7th. Um, EA Sports FC 24 Standard Edition, it marks the beginning of the future of football, which is built on innovation and authenticity. You feel closer to a game in the most true to football experience, yet the best players from the biggest clubs, leagues, and competitions around the globe. Experience unparalleled realism in every match thanks to three cutting edge technologies: Hypermotion V, playstyles optimized by Opta, and the enhanced Frostbite engine. Ghost Runner 2 on PS5, where you survive a post apocalyptic cyberpunk future in this intense and immersive first person experience, building on the fast paced action of the original. As before, it's one hit kill scenario, fight through enemies without taking damage yourself, but in this sequel, they are numerous combat improvements, non-linear levels of complex motorbike sections, and exciting new modes for you to check out. You can also play Tunic on PS4, PS5, where you explore a hostile, intricately connected world of shady forests, sprawling ruins, and labyrinths of catacombs in this stylish isometric adventure game. And lastly, Destiny 2 Lightfall, which is the one of the expansions that takes Guardians to Neptune to discover a neon metropolis unlike anything you've explored in Destiny 2 before. So be sure to check all of those things out. You will also be able to get some free games. Those PlayStation Plus games will be available until June 3rd. Was it June 3rd?
June 3rd.
June 3rd. Amazon Prime Gaming is also giving away 9 free games for the month of May. So you're going to love this one. I I just got to find the list here. May 2nd, you will be able to get Tomb Raider Game of the Year Edition, Lego Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars, and Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. That's kind of smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. I think it's so funny. I've been seeing all over YouTube, like all of my recommended videos for YouTube are like check these things out before you start Fallout 4
Yeah.
and like these are 8 secrets in Fallout 3 and it's so funny to see these popping up for these super old games
I wonder
and
if
I
my
love it.
I wonder if my Keeley video is going to
Oh, I bet it will.
take
Your
the
Keely
internet
video
by
is going to
storm
take off.
again.
Mm-hmm.
I should correct the date on that, though. The Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition is available on May 9th. Also
Mm-hmm.
available on May 9th, and that's what's GOG platform?
GOG, Good Old
Good
Games.
Old
So
Games.
they give you a code, you redeem it on Good Old Games.
Amazon Game app on May 9th, you'll be able to pick up Dark City: International Intrigue, as well as Nine Witches: Family Disruption. And those are on, as I said, the Amazon Games app. Epic Games Store, you'll be able to get Electrician Simulator, which actually sounds kind of intriguing.
That does
Yeah.
sound interesting. I really liked PC Building Simulator, so I feel like Electrician Simulator might also be a good time.
May 16th, with a legacy game code, you'll be able to get 100 Doors Games: Escape from School, as well as The Forgotten City on the Amazon Games app. And then on May 23rd, you'll be able to pick up Spirits of Mystery: Whisper of the Past. And that's also on the Amazon Games app. That is all the games that are coming out and the free games. I'm going to hand things over to Shalene. Take it away, Shalene.
You. We are going to start out with a lawsuit because we just love talking about lawsuits here on GameStack. Boy,
Do
I
we?
bumped the little
Do
card
we?
table.
Do we?
We don't. We hate it. We hate it. I would rather talk about pretty much anything else but lawsuits, but sometimes it feels important, so we talk about them anyway.
Okay, here we go.
This is a new class action lawsuit that is alleging games companies get users addicted to boost profits. And frankly, I have complicated feelings about this one. So the plaintiff is Andrew Sayers. He has filed a video game addiction lawsuit against Microsoft Corp, Nintendo of America, and other game developers. The lawsuit alleges that companies intentionally create addictive games and monetization schemes to get young people to spend more time and money playing games. And this was filed in Georgia federal court. The lawsuit also includes Rockstar Games and other video game developers. So the plaintiff, Andrew Sayers, he's 23. He claims that video game addiction is a worldwide epidemic harming the nation's youth and young adults and has negatively affected his life. And this is a top class actions article by Ann Butcher, by the way, just to attribute credit where it's due. Sayers states that he spends approximately 5 to 9 hours each day playing games, including Fortnite, Minecraft, Call of Duty, and Grand Theft Auto on his Nintendo and Xbox devices. He says that he first began playing video games when he was 10 years old, and that he has continued to play video games at an increasing and uncontrollable pace since that time, according to the lawsuit. Sayers claims that video game addiction to the defendant's products has caused him to suffer brain damage, gamer's rage, emotional distress, behavioral issues, trouble focusing at school, dropping grades, and withdrawal symptoms. He also alleges that he's been diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and that his attention deficit hyperactivity disorder has worsened due to video game addiction. The severity of these harms has required outpatient counseling and private tutoring, the lawsuit claims. And the video game industry's recent growth is allegedly due to patented monetization schemes targeting minors by enticing them to make in-game purchases of downloadable products, the lawsuit alleges. These in-game purchases often take the form of microtransactions that are low in price, but players are often required to make multiple purchases to advance in the game, the Nintendo lawsuit says. Game developers offer microtransactions in a manner designed to extend gameplay and increase a player's dopamine levels behind paywalls, Sayers alleges. And the video game developers and publishers rely on minors and young adults becoming addicted to their video games because they will log more hours and spend more money on in game purchases. The lawsuit states that the ultimate goal for video game developers is revenue from microtransactions to outweigh the revenue of one time purchase games. And Sayers claims that youth and young adults are the most vulnerable to these manipulative monetization schemes. And I do have mixed feelings about this because many monetization schemes are very predatory and do prey on vulnerable young people. But at the same time, there is a role for self-control and there is a role for parenting. And I find it really interesting that in the lawsuit, Sayers states that he's still playing video games. If this harm has been so extreme, why hasn't he quit? You know, why is he still participating in this thing that is so damaging to him that he's filed a lawsuit? I don't understand that. I I would like to see less predatory microtransaction setups. I would very much like to see that because I feel that sometimes they're unreasonable and that they make games that might be fun otherwise unplayable. And
Yeah. I
but
mean,
but this seems to be a little extreme, the allegations of this lawsuit.
we know that gaming companies are doing their best to entice you to engage with their product as much as possible. We know
Mm-hmm.
that, right? Um, that's just marketing.
Their job is
It's
to make money.
it's in the food industry, it's in television, it's in real estate, it's everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same model, more or less. But this is a little bit odd, right? Because he's homeschooled, plays 12 to 14 hours of games a day, and spends $350 a month on games. And he's still playing video games.
Right. If he's filing a lawsuit, yet he continues to participate in this thing that is
And
damaging
he's
him.
23 years old.
At that point, you are a whole entire adult
Yes.
and no one is responsible for your actions but you. And while I do acknowledge that video game addiction is just as real as any other form of addiction, why would you continue these behaviors while filing the lawsuit? That's wild to
What
me.
this is, Shalene, is a good example of parents who shouldn't actually be homeschooling their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you need to put some entertainment boundaries on your child
Mm-hmm.
as they're in their developmental stages, and it is your response. You have taken on the responsibility of providing them education. So if anything, he should be suing his parents for not taking the responsibility and being negligent in his own education and raising him, right? But
I just, ugh.
this is it's non this is it's going to get tossed. The judge is going to laugh and it's going to get tossed. I think the only way in which a case like this might actually have any traction if it was the parents who were maybe filing the suit
On behalf of a still minor child.
of somebody who was still underage, and they were saying,
Yes.
we have done everything in our power to try to get blah 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 blah. But even then, people are still going to make the argument, well, just
Parent your child. Yeah.
take
Parent your
away
child.
the access to those things, right? I think it's the other thing is I think um the fact that the lawsuit is directed at specific companies like Microsoft,
Mm-hmm.
Epic Games, EA gives me pause because um during that time the parents were likely allowing that individual to play games that were outside of the age range,
Almost certainly. Yeah.
right?
Almost
Restricted
certainly.
games probably.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes without saying. Gaming addiction is a real thing. It is very serious. This kind of story bothers me because it gives people who are actually facing problems and want retribution a bad rap. And it makes it
Mm-hmm.
more difficult to actually bring lawsuits that have substance forward,
Right.
right? And actually gain action on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I just predatory microtransactions are a problem, and I think maybe they should somehow be policed. But this is not the way. This is not the way.
This is not the
This
way.
is yes, I have spoken. I don't know. That's all I have to say about the lawsuit. You have anything
Yeah.
else?
No.
I'm mad now. I'm just angry about
Yeah.
everything.
Next.
You know what else I'm really mad about? Okay,
Wait,
there's
wait,
going to be
wait.
a
I'm just mad. Okay, go.
yes. There is going to be a new Batman Arkham game, and I'm livid. I'm furious because it's a VR exclusive and it's not developed by Rocksteady. I love the Batman Arkham games. So many people do. They're amazing, amazing games. And it's been 8 years since we've had one, according to this IGN article by Wesleyan Poole. And Warner Brothers has finally announced the next entry in the series, Batman: Arkham Shadow. But it's a VR game set for release exclusively on the MetaQuest 3 in late 2024. And it is developed by Camouflage, who made the Iron Man VR game, and Oculus Studios in partnership with Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment and DC. They have not stated who will be portraying the voice of Batman in the game, but they have promised that more details will be revealed during Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest on June 7th at 2 p.m. Pacific. And there is a teaser trailer out there if you would like to check it out. Here's the official blurb. Evil stalks the streets. Gotham City is in danger, and you're the only one who can save it. Tune into Summer Game Fest 2024 on June 7th, etc., etc. Prepare to enter Gotham for a new story set in the Batman: Arkham franchise on MetaQuest 3 in late 2024. So I just, yeah, I'm annoyed.
Can we just talk about this trailer? So the trailer is like, okay, imagine having a VR headset on and there's
yeah.
thousands of rats running towards you. I would nope so hard out of that VR headset. That would be the end of it. I could barely get
Yeah.
through Plague Tale.
Plague Tale on VR. I would yeet that VR headset
Right?
across the room.
I don't
Absolutely
know.
not.
I feel, and I noticed it's a meta partnership.
Yeah.
So
I do
like
not want this product. I'm sure there are people out there who do.
Mark Zuckerberg, stop trying to make Oculus happen. It's not going to happen.
I want to say that I feel happiness for the people who do want this product, but that would be insincere. And
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of things I don't like, let's talk about Starfield. I'm sorry, Jessica Star. I'm sorry. So our next
It's okay.
article.
She's not here.
I'm sorry. I got the giggles there. Okay, our next article is a Forbes article by Paul Tassi, and this is about the new Starfield patch that will be coming out soon. So people have been complaining that Starfield has had poor post-launch support, and Bethesda has they've got this patch ready. It was announced yesterday. It goes live on May 15th, and you can test the patch now in the game's beta client, which is what the author of the article has been doing. And this is basically his report on what's going on. So maps, they've changed the maps up, and these actually look pretty solid. And it is a problem that many of the cities are layered in ways that the maps are hard to portray on maps, which is probably why they didn't have these maps in the first place. Open world planet maps are more basic. They're vast stretches of flat space with distributed landmarks relative to your ship. Not much to expect beyond that, but it is an improvement, according to the author. There are now some new gameplay difficulty options. The author complains that in the end game of Starfield, the game gets much, much too easy, even on its hardest difficulty. And now there is a new extreme difficulty setting that you can apply that will make the enemies do more damage while you do less. And that seems to be broken in the beta, according to this article. Enemies just are not damaging the author, and he's receiving tiny amounts of damage from max level enemies in a way that was not happening before. So that needs to have some bugs worked out, I believe. It's inconsistent, and it is more than just an extra hard mode, though. It's more than just a difficulty setting, because there are also some survival aspects, like settings for food, medicine, sleep, injury, and disease that you can make more more unforgiving for XP bonuses. And if you really
I'm
want to be a
sorry.
sadist,
I'm sorry, but I just can't apologize.
you can also lower your carrying capacity. So this isn't, I don't know why anybody would do that. I would never do that to myself. I deserve to hoard things in video games.
Like anybody who plays Starfield has played Fallout. What? How, why?
It's what Bethesda gamers do. We collect, we gather, we hoard.
Todd is
Yes.
just trying to
Mhm.
usher in a whole new generation of minimalists.
When I did try Starfield the first time, I remember seeing an article that stated that you don't need to pick up all the pencils in the game. Meanwhile, I had a pocket full of like 17 pencils. So funny.
uh,
Um, they've also made some changes to ship interiors. There are no new exterior ship parts, which will be very disappointing to the builders, but they are fixing the problem where it was very little customization available to the ship interior. So
okay.
moving and editing ships would just throw everything in storage. And now there are empty modules you can put in for complete customization, and the whole thing works very similar to base building. So that's a nice feature. There's also Unity respec. I don't know what this means, so I'm just going to read it straight off because I didn't play this far in. You can now respec your traits when you go through the Unity, when previously you could only remove them in various parts of the game. It's a good feature and one I would have probably taken advantage of if I had not done the Unity 3 times already, and I am very tired of losing my progress and wiping all my ships, bases, and gear, which I maintain is a very poor New Game Plus system, which I even said in my ultra positive review. Okay, thank you, author of this Forbes thing. There is a new dialogue camera. So this will get rid of that Bethesda Zoom situation where the characters just, when you're talking to somebody and it zooms in on their face and you just have their face filling the screen. You guys all know what I'm talking
The
about.
best is when that happens when you have the face bug where it's just eyeballs and lips and it zooms in and it's just like this grotesque like
I
skinless head.
love bugs like that. I love them. They're my favorite thing. Oh my gosh. So when you're playing in third person with this new mode, it won't zoom in and you'll just bring up the dialogue options where you stand. So this is an option to have. It would help with immersion. And yeah, that's it. There are also some frame rate stuff on the Xbox that is available. You can choose, I believe, a performance mode or um, like a graphics mode.
Okay.
There's been a tease for land vehicles that will be coming to the game, but that's not included in this May 15th patch. So this is a pretty decent patch. That's a lot of quality of life changes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I hope that those are good changes for the Starfield players. So
Yeah, if
we're
anybody's listening and you still play Starfield, write into the show
mhm.
and tell us how that's going.
Yeah, I'm sure there are still a lot of people playing, and people that will play as new content is released.
Yes, all 115 of you still watching Starfield on Twitch.
Wow, that few. But it is a single player narrative game. So it makes sense that the views would drop
I don't know.
because
I don't
it
know,
makes sense to
Shalene.
me that the views would drop.
Let's look Starfield. Let's.
Okay, so we're checking live right now.
There are there are how many people? How do I see? 180 viewers. There are 80 people watching streamers play Starfield on Twitch right now. That's
Interesting.
really bad.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's what, like 18 people watching us right now. So,
So like we're almost doing as good as Starfield.
yes, that is exactly what's happening. We have like 25% the viewership of Starfield
Mm-hmm.
on Twitch.
Wow.
Um,
We're practically a quadruple A podcast.
wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you know what's not amazing? Continued layoffs in the gaming industry.
Oh, I
It's
was
not
like
amazing at all.
your next segue.
Also not amazing, to be fair, yes. But Take-Two has reportedly shut down Roll7 and Intercept Games, and Private Division has suffered
Oh.
layoffs. This is a gamesindustry.biz article by James Batchelor. And some more details have emerged about the ongoing layoffs at Take-Two Interactive, with reports suggesting that the publisher has shut down 2 indie-sized studios.
Hmm.
Bloomberg reported that it has seen internal documentation revealing that UK developer Roll7, known for the Ollie Ollie series and Rollerdrome, is planning to be closed, and that the publisher is working on severance agreements for staff. And the documents also detail plans to close Intercept Games, the Seattle-based studio behind Kerbal Space Program 2. And yesterday, GamesIndustry.biz reported on a warn notice filed in Washington state, revealing that a Take-Two owned Seattle office will close this June. That will affect 70 employees. Bloomberg noted that this is approximately the same number of staff who work at Intercept Games. Both studios are part of Private Division, Take-Two's label for publishing indie games. And the label formed Intercept Games in 2020 after taking over development of Kerbal Space Program 2 and acquired Roll7 in 2021. These studios barely had a chance after they were acquired.
Mm.
They haven't had much time. Other Private Division staff have been affected by layoffs, with a source telling GamesIndustry.biz that the vast majority of the label's teams in Seattle, New York, Las Vegas, and Munich have been let go. When asked for information, Take-Two issued the statement below. On April 16th, Take-Two announced a cost reduction program to identify efficiencies across its business and enhance the company's margin profile while still investing for growth. As part of these efforts, the company is rationalizing its pipeline and eliminating several projects in development and streamlining its organizational structure, which will eliminate headcount and reduce future hiring needs. The company is not providing additional details on this program. On April 18th, Private Division successfully launched Moon Studios' No Rest for the Wicked. The label continues to make updates to Kerbal Space Program 2 and plans to release the Weta Workshop Game Studios' Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game in the second half of 2024. Gross, man. Gross. I'm so tired of seeing these layoffs. I just that why did they buy these studios if they weren't ready to support them? I feel like everybody's buying so much, they're not giving it a chance. They're not fostering what they've purchased, you know. It's like they're trying to grow a garden and they've got all these seeds, and instead of individually planting and nurturing, they're just hurling fistfuls of seeds at the ground and hoping something takes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they lost their patience, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then they tried to buy they tried to buy up assets, and then they lost more patience. And
With no plan to support these assets
mm-hmm,
going
mm-hmm,
forward.
yeah, I think I think this is just another example of poor management.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who are impacted the most by that are the ones who are just trying to earn a living,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right? And this is another reason why I think that there needs to be a unionization in the gaming industry. Employees have to have some rights,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I don't know, it's the precarity in the gaming industry is still so wild west per
There's
se. You
no
know,
stability,
people work
no
on
stability at
contracts,
all.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I don't understand. It's a wonder that anybody is staying in the industry. You know, it's a wonder that anyone has enough passion to keep them going in this industry where they don't have stability in knowing that, yes, they're definitely going to be able to pay their bills 6 months from now.
Well, and another thing to
That's
consider is if this actually leads to the end of any meaningful development of Kerbal Space Program 2, people need to know about that. Going
Mhm.
into an early access game like that, they should know the risks, that there
Mhm.
is no guarantee that the game will ever make it to a promised
Right.
state. Um, but for, more, even more so from like a moral perspective. Um,
You're selling a product you have no plans to finish.
exactly. So why would you even list it, right?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Not that I
Well,
want to jump to any conclusions, but
I understand.
I
It's
have a feeling that like a couple months from now, Shalene, Kerbal Space Program 2,
maybe canned, and we may be talking about another class action lawsuit. We'll see.
probably, maybe, yeah.
Well, you want to know about a game that's probably not going to get any class action lawsuits. Elden Ring. It was good. They finished it before they released it. It doesn't have predatory microtransactions. It's just a good video game.
Wait, I have a thing for that.
All of this just works.
Carry on.
Elden Ring. So we've reported recently on the upcoming Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. And Miyazaki, producer, says that after Shadow of the Erd Tree, there will be no more Elden Ring DLC. This is a Rock Paper Shotgun article by Nick Rubin. And the source list for this is a little complicated, so bear with me. As reported by Chinese outlet Campfire Camp and spotted by Games Radar, machine translated by Ian Games of the Ian Games Network,
Wow.
and now reported
Is this
by
even
Nick
news,
Rubin.
Shalene? Is this even news? Are you reading fictional stories on the podcast now?
I know, is
Written
this
by
just
communists?
the rumor mill? The rumor mill. But the Elden Ring expansion, Shadow of the Erd Tree, will be the only DLC for Elden Ring, according to Hidetaka Miyazaki. And Miyazaki said that this is the first and last DLC, and we have no plans to add more content to Elden Ring. Elden Ring emphasizes exploration and adventure in a big world. In order to provide such an experience, a vast and huge setting is inevitably needed. Instead of taking a similar approach to, say, Dark Souls 2, then, where a single theme tied together multiple expansions, From has opted for a single massive content drop. And we're quoting again, if they were sold separately, the freedom of exploration and sense of adventure would be reduced. So that is a bummer, but it also seems like Shadow of the Erd Tree is going to be pretty massive. So that's
Yeah.
something to look forward to. We have a little bit of commentary from Joseph Tao. He says, dang, I was really hoping for a DLC in the past about dragons and their Empyreans in the previous cycle. So I don't know what that means. I didn't play enough Elden Ring, but I'm
I
sure you
mean,
Elden
I
Ring people
think I
understand it.
personally think Elden Ring is just a one and done game for me,
Mhm.
honestly. I mean, it came out, it was good, people loved it, they made a lot of money on it, and I don't really see how they can make it any better without adding
Much
micro,
the same as
right?
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Most
So,
recently Baldur's Gate 3. We've got some games that were released in a complete state that are great.
yeah,
And that's enough.
just let
And the
it
developers
happen.
are moving on.
I like that. And you know what? We need more developers to just bring us back to reality and say,
Mhm.
no, no, we've moved on to other IP. It is what
Yes.
it is. Enjoy it while it lasts. And, this is what you've wanted all along because you've all been complaining about microtransactions and games as a service.
Mhm.
So, what do you want from us?
Yes, exactly. This is the anti-games as service movement. I am behind it. I'm with
Yes, let's
this.
make it happen.
Yes. So you know what sounds really, really good after just doing a podcast for 40 minutes and you're just talking and talking and talking and throat
Cheesecake
gets
Factory?
dry? A Slurpee from
Oh,
7-Eleven. A Slurpee. We're trying to do a thing here.
right. Sorry.
Yeah, Slurpee from 7-Eleven. And the only thing that I could think of that would make that delicious Slurpee even better would be a game of Tetris. And lucky me, Tet- according to this GameSpot article by George Yang, Tetris and 7-Eleven have revealed that they are working on some merchandise products together, including one called the Slurpee Plus Tetris handheld game device. And according to the product description on 7-Eleven's website, this features an officially licensed Tetris title that plays in full color on a 1.8-inch screen. It also has a built-in speaker with volume control, powered by 3 AAA batteries or a USB-C cable. It will cost $30, and there isn't a release date yet. It just says coming soon, and this will be available in the United States. It is unaware if it will be coming to other regions. Now, if you click through to look at this device, it's flat on the side with the screen, as you would expect. The button scheme, the control scheme, is pretty similar to an old school Game Boy, you know, with your D-pad and your A and B buttons. And it's shaped like a Slurpee cup, and it has a big Slurpee scoop on top. And it's ridiculous, and I want one. I want one, vendor. I just think this looks like a handful of joy. I want to play Tetris on a Slurpee machine. You look like you are judging me right now, and I'd like you to tell me about it. Oh, wait, there's an email sign up.
I no. I don't. You're such a sucker. Are you going to put that on the shelf right next to your Tetris McNugget? Like, is that what's going to happen?
I do not have a Tetris McNugget. Is there a Tetris McNugget? Is that a thing?
Enough. Next story. Go on.
Okay. I do have 2 separate
my God.
Tetris makeup collabs, but we'll move on.
Oh, the Tetris makeup story is justifiable. Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, you know, there is just one place on the internet that I really have thought for a long time needed to have game integration. That's an absolute lie. I'm just trying really hard to do this segue. LinkedIn has games on it now.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
You can play Pinpoint, Cross Climb, and Queens, casual titles that are free to play. One of them is a word association, one of them is Sudoku-like, and one of them is a trivia game. And you can play them on LinkedIn.
This is LinkedIn's nail in the coffin. You see
Why?
You see what's happening here, right? Because LinkedIn,
they're desperate to get somebody
Yes.
on their platform.
LinkedIn used to be a platform for people to find jobs. Almost all of the jobs that are basically automated spam posts now on LinkedIn. And you know, maybe one single company has, you know, 500 or more different listings of the exact same, you know, work from home, and there's just posts everywhere. Everybody is self-congratulating Janice on completing her certificate in some useless thing about lunchrooms or something. You know, like it's just LinkedIn. It's terrible. They're looking for profit. They're trying to stay alive. That's what they're doing.
It makes no sense that you would have games on LinkedIn. The only thing I can think of is that maybe LinkedIn is not blocked by your company's, you know, internet firewall, so you can go on LinkedIn and play a game. I don't know.
You know, it's funny because I go on LinkedIn like once every like 7 months maybe. And I have like 2 or 3 messages from an old colleague from like 7 months ago that I didn't read. And I'm just like,
yeah.
I
really don't use it either. I made a LinkedIn profile when I was looking for a job last time, and I'll may need to dust it off again, but that's by the wayside. I don't know.
Anyways, we can chalk that. We can pin that one up with Kerbal Space Program 2 that we'll probably be talking about LinkedIn going under in like 6 months' time.
So just a little sidebar from the chat. Tim Twig states that there is such a thing as the Tetris Nugget, and that I wish I knew more about Tetris than he does, bold words, sir. And Archin reminds us that there was supposed to be a Tetris battle that never came to fruition, and that is true. Tim, we should get together and schedule this thing because
Can we live
yeah.
stream this? Because I want to be there with popcorn. Can I like
Yes.
mediate the session?
We should talk. We should talk because we never did this. We talked a bunch of trash to each other, and we
like,
never did it.
Like two little yappy dogs, one on each side of the fence, just barking at each other, but nothing really comes of it.
Tim also adds, does LinkedIn run Doom?
But it could. One day, maybe.
Okay, so now I think I'm done being angry for the podcast.
Okay, what do you got?
But our next one, I'm pretty sure it's going to make you angry.
Oh no.
This is a rock, paper, shotgun article by James Archer. Razer will pay out $1 million in refunds over its misleading Zephyr face mask.
Oh, I seen something.
Razer, yes, is the maker of many gaming peripherals, and they've been slapped with a $1.1 million fine by U.S. regulators after they created a face mask that they said that misled buyers over the amount of protection it afforded. According to Kotaku, the FTC took issue with Razer's claim that the Zephyr, an RGB monstrosity released during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, could act as a medical grade N95 respirator. Friends, it could not. And they will allocate $1 million of that fine towards refunds for buyers who were fooled. And yeah, as a public health professional, I feel like this is going to infuriate you.
No, actually, because I'm pretty numb.
Yeah.
And it doesn't surprise me, but I'm glad that regulators are going after companies even a couple years after the pandemic to say what you've done is not okay.
Yes.
And there are consequences to those actions. And I'm glad that they're being reprimanded for that, because you can't take advantage of people's health in that way and put people in danger. Marketing something as an N95 comes with certain regulatory standards behind the product that says that it is safe to use in certain hazardous environments. Now you're going to have people using these masks saying, "Oh, you know, I could use it while I'm spray painting something outside, or staining, or using volatile organic compounds." Like, and
people
then suddenly
could die.
Yeah,
people could die.
Yeah, so you reap what you sow. Unpopular opinion, I think Razer is kind of garbage.
Do you really?
I think they're kind of like the modern day Mad Cats. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Never bought into Razer.
Words.
Never bought into Razer. I also think that Logitech is kind of in the same boat. I mean,
I don't think I've ever owned a Razer item. I don't know. I don't know. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Next month is not E3. And Xbox has announced that their game showcase will be June the 9th, followed by a Call of Duty Direct. And this is a Verge article by Tom Warren. So June the 9th, that's a Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. UK. This will include a deep dive into the next installment of Call of Duty after the main show ends. And this game showcase will feature games across Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, and Microsoft's Xbox Game Studios. And according to this article, they are planning to announce a new Gears of War game during the show. And the showcase will also include a number of release dates for upcoming Xbox games like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Avowed, and Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. So we'll likely also get a date on the Shattered Space expansion for Starfield. Todd Howard recently revealed that it is due in the fall, and Bethesda is currently targeting September, according to reports. Activision is targeting the next Call of Duty for late October, with Avowed and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 likely to follow in November, and Indiana Jones in December. So we will see what we get there.
I feel
And
like Call of Duty is like the MASH of video games, man. Like this, I'm going to be 90 and Call of Duty is still going to be putting out new versions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you going to watch it?
Of course. Yeah, of course I'm going to watch it. Yeah.
I will
Obviously.
not be
Yes.
watching it because I'll be at the airport waiting for a flight. Well, I suppose that I could probably watch it. Yeah. I don't like to use airport Wi-Fi though. So, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I will most likely watch it.
Might watch it. We'll see.
So that means you have some time off coming up. We could schedule that.
So the end of May, so May 22nd to 25th, I'm at a conference. Then I'm back for 3 days, and then I go to Toronto from May 28th to June 2nd. And then
Okay,
I'm
so
in
we
Ottawa
may
till
need to be
June
working
9th.
on some podcast scheduling.
Yes, we may
we'll get
have
together
to,
afterwards.
Yeah, here we are
and
planning the
talk
show
about
on the
that,
show,
yeah.
but we may want to pre-record some episodes before we go.
Do you have anything you wanted to talk about from RTZ's Marketplace?
Oh yeah, RTZ's Marketplace. We need a bumper for that. Yeah. We don't have one. I was literally in the Discord looking for the channel that says RTZ's Marketplace. I think that we should just rename it, really, honestly. Yeah, I don't know.
Why should we rename it?
Because it's RTZ's Marketplace.
Oh yeah, and it's GameStack Marketplace.
Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood from Humble Bundle Store. I think there's a good deal on that, as well as Tacoma from the creators of Gone Home. Check that out. Tales of Iron on Steam is on sale as well, a good deal. And then he's also saying 45% off on Shadows of Doubt on the PC Steam game version. And that was like a week ago. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Check that out.
Well, that's it for the news then.
All right. My GameStop. Yeah, it's not working. I'm pushing it and nothing's happening. Sony closed out, as always, these prices are in comparison to the last episode of GameStack podcast, so we are comparing from 2 weeks ago now instead of 1 week. Sony closed out at $84.54, up $3.24. Microsoft up $7.54 at $406.66. Nintendo up 40 cents at $12.38. Take-Two up $5.28 at $145.88. EA closing out at $2.29, higher than their previous 2 weeks ago at $129.56. Tencent also up by $8.16 at $47.14.
That's huge growth.
Roblox Corp closing out $3.90 higher at $39.24. That is our stocks, and we have no mail, so let's roll in to screenshots and stories. Oh, that one's working. That's good. So we had a few screenshots and stories that I wanted to share. We also have some I don't know if this
GameStack challenge.
We also have some GameStack challenge photos,
this is brilliant.
Which are video game bugs, if you recall. So we actually had I'll start with the screenshots first, but we had quite a few of submissions from the Fallout universe, various Fallout games.
Oh, yes.
This is my submission. Jess and I were on Deathclaw Island, hunting for a Deathclaw egg, doing one of the dailies in Fallout 76. We killed this Deathclaw that rose out of its nest, and it glitched, and it was like frozen like that. So we all took pictures of it with it.
That's great.
And it was so good.
He just looks like he's your buddy.
It's so good because I'm wearing a prison collar in this photo, so it's like I'm his pet, you know? But anyways. And then we have, what else do we have? We have this one from Jess with her Deathclaw. She's in her beautiful Nuka-Cola space suit with her fancy Pip-Boy, and the Deathclaw is looking at her and just roaring.
Is that you in the background?
No, this is Hobbit in the background.
Ah, nice.
Doing a yoga pose. Yeah, I'm over here on the other side. For some reason, I got
she cropped you out.
That's fine.
Wow, I see how it is.
Yep. And then she also posted this one, which is her in the Tunnel of Love, with the makeshift wedding.
Yes, I love this.
Yeah. And
So
there's a
cute.
couple of tables. There's a bouquet on one table, and
For this event, to complete this event, you have to cobble together a wife for the Mr. Handy. And she's posing with the wife.
it's brilliant. The Tunnel of
So
Love
cute.
was fantastic. I went through that. And that was the screenshots and stories. But our challenge photos were quite good, and I want to skip back quickly to this first one.
Oh my gosh, this is Fallout 3.
Yes, so this is Fallout 3. This is Sullivan Sevens Racing. And he says Stretch Armstrong in Fallout 3
Oh
also.
my gosh,
It's
this
so good.
NPC is just stretched from floor to ceiling. One of their limbs is just completely stretched. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Then we have this one, and this is so good. I don't know who
Is this The
posted. This is
Sims?
Alex. Alex posted this, and she said, "Not my picture, but it's happened to me many times. It's The Sims 4, and they call it the hug bug. Toddler's going to hug a dog, and the dog gets interesting.
The dog, its head is bent backwards. It's like twisted around.
So good.
This screenshot requires an exorcism.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, the dog. I fear for this child. Also, why does the child have like one shoe on? Or maybe I'm
Oh,
just.
I mean, kids are like that.
Yeah, I suppose. Then we have this glorious screenshot, which is like there are no words. How do I zoom in? I need
So
to.
good.
Oh God, that's not the right
This
thing.
dragon. This is a Skyrim dragon. Is this a Skyrim dragon?
Presumably, this is a Skyrim dragon, and this is posted by Green Camps.
It appears to have recently eaten Taco Bell.
Yes. Explain this to the listeners.
There are flames, a large gout of flames coming from the dragon's behind, from its posterior. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's whew, that's a lot of fire. That must have hurt.
Yeah, we have an issue because my images have frozen. So
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna try to open them again.
If we need to, we can save the rest of them for next time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we can save the rest for next time, Thunder.
Oh, I think I know.
Oh, you fixed it?
No.
Nope.
Oh man, my computer is okay. Well,
okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
We're just gonna.
We will check the rest of them out next time.
This was such a good quest or challenge that I think that we should probably continue it.
Yes, please continue submitting your video game bugs.
Mm-hmm.
They can be this type of bug where the dragon breathes fire from the wrong end, or a literal bug in a video game. Both are acceptable.
Oh, there's so many good ones. The next few, I think we've got like another 3 or 4 of them, and they're so good. I can't wait.
Yes,
to talk
we
about
will
them
definitely check
time.
those out next time.
Let's
next week
talk
we'll be doing
about
TFS.
what we've been playing. And my bumper's also not working, so take it away.
That's fine.
Oh,
so
I guess I'll talk. Yeah. So, things are finally just catching up here. Oh man, everything is broken.
There's nothing audible. Talk about your gameplay, please.
So I've been playing some Animal Crossing as you do every morning. I wake up and I play Animal Crossing with my coffee, and I really have to play. I got to see if I can play this video for you guys.
It was so good. So good.
It was so good. I went over to. Well, I was walking around and I've got this villager. Her name is Annalise. And Annalise is a very cute horse, and she comes up to me and she's like, hey vendor, I need some design tips. Can I come over to your house? So she comes over and she's like doing her thing, and she's walking around, and she starts playing touching my stuff. She starts touching things in my house. And so she started turning on the coffee grinder, which is like audibly annoying.
Yes.
And this is what ensued. So I turn off the coffee grinder. She turns it back on. I go over. I turn it off again. And then she goes and she turns it on. She turns it on and then she turns it off right away, as if to say, like, almost got you that time.
I love that you were running towards her to turn it off as she flipped it off.
And I'm sorry for the live members. I'm gonna play it again because I didn't show the B-roll, but
That's so funny.
she was being so cheeky this morning, and I was just like, dang, you are spicy. Yeah, it's really cute. Anyways, Animal Crossing's been really good. I've been working on my island, really working on redecorating it. My entrance is entirely different, so when you come to visit, it'll be all different. It looks really good, I think. I put in a cafe, which I told you about. And the gentleman who runs the cafe is the science body model.
Yes.
So like
The anatomical model.
half of his organs are like hanging out next to the display case of cheesecakes. So it's a good
Perfect.
time. Yeah. And what else? Blossom season is over. It is now Mother's Day is coming up in Animal Crossing. So I've been buying carnations and giving them to all the ladies on my island.
I really like the carnations.
Mm-hmm. And I got to visit 4 Miles Island yesterday. She's made some changes as well.
Did she do the
it looks
speedy
good.
tour?
She did not do the speedy tour. I had free roam of the island, which was nice. But yeah. And then I've been playing a lot of Fallout 76, actually. I played some Fallout 76 with you, which was really nice.
Good times.
It is so nice being Sherpa'd around the wasteland. The last few times that I played Fallout 76, I've been actually really frustrated playing it. And I'm not going to go into that because I think that the game still has some merit, but I was hoping that hopping back into Fallout 76 that I wouldn't be faced with the same disappointments that I was last time, and it doesn't seem to be the case, but I'm a little bit on the fence about it. So yeah. But I finally earned enough atoms to buy the Old Glory cabin set.
Nice. You got your cabins.
Fire bundle. Well, yes and no. I mean, it's the fire bundle. So I've got the cobblestone walls, and then I've got the stone fireplace and the fire, as well as the old art picture and the red sparrow wallpaper, or the canary wallpaper. So, but yeah, it's really, Jess in the chat says, you get frustrated when you play alone. So we needs to play. And she's right, but it also makes me frustrated because I'm realizing that a lot of these quests in the Fallout 76 universe you can't do by yourself. And I really need to hop into this solo. I need to experience Fallout 76 solo. So I need to pick and choose quests that I'm able to do on my own and then save other quests for when I'm with people. Because, I mean, fighting 3 Mirelurk Kings and a Scorch Beast in a cave is not exactly something that is appropriate for solo play. So trying to do the Brotherhood of Steel.
We need to get you some better equipment, is what I'm thinking. We need to get you equipped better. Let's talk after the show.
Let's have my people call your people.
I know a guy.
Yeah. But my camp's coming along. You should come and see it. It's changed a little bit. I've made the top floor where my bedroom is a little bit higher so you don't scrape your head off when you come up the stairs on the roof. And then I added my Collectron back, which is so great because he's got these one-liners that, you know.
I like the Collectrons.
Collect
They're great.
and scrap.
Instead of protect and serve.
Yeah.
So good. Much better.
Anyways, that's my gameplay. What have you been up to?
My gameplay has been pretty much exclusively Fallout 76, and there hasn't been a ton of Fallout 76 time this week. But I'm just grinding away at the dailies and the weeklies, doing my best to try and get through with the season. I think I'm around rank 40 on the scoreboard now. The other day when we played together, I was super excited because I had decided that I had invited you to do the new expedition with me, which I had never done before.
So fun. The Blue Ridge Caravan.
No. This is the one that I've done the Blue Ridge Caravan before, and that was fun for us to do together. But I wanted to try the new expedition. that I haven't tried before. It's in Atlantic City, and we were getting ready. We traveled back to
Oh,
my
yeah.
camp, and we're like patching our armor and getting some bullets out of the bullet box, that kind of thing. And my computer blue screened, which has been how every gaming session has ended
Do you want me to
recently.
just send this to you? Because it's literally collecting dust because I can't afford a GPU.
He's holding up a PC case right now.
No, it's not a PC
No,
case.
what is it? Is that the motherboard?
It's the motherboard.
Yeah. I need to build a new one. I need to start fresh. And um it's really limited my Fallout 76 time. But fortunately it hasn't shut me out of a podcast yet.
Thank
But I feel like that's
goodness.
only a matter of time.
Yeah.
But
we need to.
it's a project that needs to be done. But
Well,
that's
is it something? Is it maybe just that you need a new motherboard,
vendor, I don't
or
know.
maybe a new GPU? Like,
It's had this problem for a really long time now.
well,
And I don't
did this start happening after you dropped it down the second flight of stairs?
it got worse after we dropped it down the stairs, but it existed before we dropped it down the stairs.
Oh,
So yeah. It's just a thing that I need to I need I need a new one. I need to rebuild.
Hmm.
So
Well,
we'll get there. And in the meantime, I'll try and maybe spend some more time with my Xbox and my Switch so that I have some gameplay to chat about on this podcast. So yeah, that's where we are. And that's my gameplay.
yeah, I feel like your computer can handle like simple Zoom calls, but anything beyond that, it really has a hard time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
anyways, thank you all for listening. That's pretty much a show for us. And don't forget, we are sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. We are on social media, Twitter at We Just Love Games, Shalene at Shalene L, myself at Vendertron N. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/group/We Just Love Games, and facebook.com/We Just Love Games. And join our Discord. Navigate to our Twitch page, twitch.tv/We Just Love Games, and go to the About section. You can find the link to the Discord. Twitch is also where we live record the show every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'll say actually alternating Fridays now. Next Friday will be the second installment of that Fallout show, where we will be covering episode 2 of that other Fallout show. So be sure to stay tuned for that. If you missed the show, that's okay. You can catch us on various podcast platforms where you get your podcasts. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and review the show. And thank you all for the renewed interest in not only TFS, but GameStack as well. Our viewership is up on both shows, and things are humming along really nicely. So thank you for the love that you send. And thank you for listening. Shalene, what is your last word?
add me on LinkedIn.